ever wanted to make Italian panettone and realize that you don't have the right mold in which to put your panettone to rise and bake? Because the panettone is traditionally a tall loaf of bread. Well, I ran into that the very first time I made panettone and it was a disaster, but I have learned since then and have come out to create some great panettone loaves. So this is an actual panettone form that you would need if you want the traditional looking panettone. It is parchment paper. You can purchase this online, but this is pretty much what you would need. If you don't have this though, then you can make your own. So that's what I'm going to show you real quickly is how to make your own. And welcome to Summer Bakes the World. I'm here quickly to show you a quick tip on how to make your own panettone form. So you're going to need some scissors, you're going to need some parchment paper, a large lunch bag, some cooking spray, and then I have a small saucepan. This is 1.5 quarts, which is about 6 inches in diameter and about 3.5 to 4 inches tall. But what you're going to need to do first is we're going to spray the bottom of our saucepan. Okay, I'm going to tear off about the width that I need of parchment paper. So I'm going to need about 6 inches in diameter. So an easy way you can do this is just put your saucepan over your parchment paper. I'm just taking a pencil. You could do pencil or pen, and then just outline your saucepan. All right, so I've got it's not so pretty lines here, but I'm just going to cut out that circle. And the purpose of this is so that your panettone does not stick to the bottom of your pan, because we're actually going to spray this into the bottom. So when you take your panettone out, it will just come out of the pan very easily. So I'm just going to lay this at the bottom. It's already soaking up the cooking spray, so it is sticking to the bottom. I'm just going to spray a little bit on top. All right, so now the panettone should come out easily enough. So the next step is we're going to cut off the bottom of a large lunch sack. I'm just going to find where the connection is here and just cut off the bottom straight across. Okay, so now I've got a little emptied bottom here. So we're going to place our paper bag into our saucepan so that it forms to the edge of the saucepan, and then it touches the bottom where our piece of parchment paper is sitting. The good thing about the brown paper bag is because it's one solid piece. The bread, as it rises, the dough is not going to punch out the sides, so that the solid piece will keep it all intact. So inside of this brown paper bag, we're going to add a piece of parchment paper that surrounds the whole saucepan. So I'm going to sit the parchment paper inside the circle of the brown bag. So it's creating a nice tall surface here. I'm going to spray the inside because that's where our dough is going. Now you can fold down the brown paper bag a bit and your panettone will rise. So it's going to rise a lot taller than our saucepan. So you really need to have a good tall surface area for it to cling to. And then just fold down your parchment paper. All right, this looks definitely homemade and strange, but it does work. It worked for me last year after my disastrous panettone when I tried to use just a different size pan, but it just didn't work. You've got this nice tall form that will keep the panettone dough intact as it's rising. Inside, we've got parchment papers covering the brown paper, and there's plenty of spray all in it, so there won't be any sticking. And so the panettone is not gonna rise all the way up to here. It'll probably rise up to here once it's baked. And still, that's a lot higher than the regular pan that you usually have in your house. So your homemade panettone form is complete. All you have to do now is place the dough in the bottom of this pan. When you set it over the stove for the last rise, this is where it's gonna be. It's gonna be inside of all this crazy looking mess. But it does work. You'll be surprised, and your panettone will come out looking really pretty. So try this method. I think you'll appreciate it, and I think it'll make your life a little easier in that you don't have to purchase anything more than what you already have in your house. Thanks for watching. I hope this tip has helped you, and until next time, go bake the world.